Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Dang, it's Monday already, December 15th. Right in the middle of Hanukkah, the 8 days of the Jewish celebration. I have a dentist appointment in 4 hours and 10 minutes. So, very excited about that. Not. Love the startup music. Yeah, I love that music too. It's peaceful. Hope you had a good trip at Cape May. I spent yesterday at Cape Maybe, meaning maybe I might make enough gas money to make it home because everybody was at home watching the Seahawks instead of out spending money. I ended up doing pretty good yesterday, actually. So, not a whole lot going on. Candace and Erika are going to have a private meeting today, which is interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Lots of false flags out there. Mass shooting at, I think, Brown University in Rhode Island. And then another one at Bondi Beach, somewhere in Australia. So we'll look at those and see what else is going on. But I'm just going to dink around right now. I want to look at the odds for the Super Bowl real quick and have a bookie minute and see here. Let me just ask ChatGPT. What are the odds to win the Super Bowl for the top 5 teams? See if it changed at all since last week. All right. When is the Super Bowl anyways? Let me ask. When and where? When and where is the Super Bowl this year? Dun, 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 dun. Super Bowl LIX is Sunday, February 9th. And the location is the Caesar Superdome in Louisiana. 3:30 p.m. Pacific. New Orleans is hosting the Super Bowl for a record-tying 11th time. Okay. Good to know. All right, let's see here. Los Angeles Rams are the favorite, plus 400. Implied win probability is 20%. Number 2 is the Seattle Seahawks at plus 700. Implied win probability 12.5%. The Green Bay Packers plus 800. Implied win probability 11%. Out of all the teams, they kind of seem like the one that, like if everybody were to bet, this is just my guess, Green Bay would be the one that got the least amount of money put on it and probably be the one that wins. Buffalo plus 850 to 900, 10 to 11% win probability. And then Philly plus 1,000, about 9% chance of winning. So LA Rams, 100 wins you 400. Seattle, 100 wins you 7. Green Bay, 800. Buffalo, 850. And the Eagles, 100 to win 1,000. Can't wait for the Super Bowl. Looking forward to it. Yeah? Are you going to the Super Bowl? Should be hopefully it is the can Buffalo and the Seahawks play each other? Can Buffalo and Seattle play each other in the Super Bowl? Asking ChatGPT. Yes. Buffalo and Seattle can play each other in the Super Bowl. Now that would be something spectacular. Oh my God, I would become a football fan overnight if I had a chance to stomp all over Thindu and Todd Father's dreams. That would be amazing. So we'll see. Let's see here. Let me ask another question. How many games left in the regular season? About 4 games left. Week 15 games are this weekend, December 11th through 15th. So that just happened. No, so there would only be, 3 more weeks probably. $16, $17, $18. Okay. Interesting. All right. I got a 2-day event indoor coming up this weekend, which I'm paying a little more than I want to, $175 for 2 days. And I've done an event for these people for 2 years, but this time it's in a new location. So we'll see how it goes. I don't even have anything to sell. I sold everything this weekend, so I have to get busy. When is Christmas? Next Thursday? 7, 8, 9, 10 days till Christmas. Damn. If there's any Amazon stuff to get, got to get it now, or it's not going to get here in time probably. All right, who is this? This is, I think, that Kenneth Copeland guy, right? Yep, Kenneth Copeland. His latest video.
The more we learn about this covenant of blood. What blood? The blood of this covenant. Glory to God. Cut the covenant with his Father God.
Glory.
Yes, like Moses of old. There's they're coming one. Oh! Don't ever do it. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever do it. Absolutely stunning. Just delicious. It's so good. And he will be like Moses, and he'll live 120 years. And he said, yeah. Preach it, brother, preach it, brother, preach it. Just before the cross. And we have a healing covenant. Dwells in me, the pure, spotless blood of God. And Hesed was performed for me. He's my blood brother, and my father is my friend. And as he is, so are we in this world. Glory to God, I don't have it. I never will have it. And I don't mind telling you, I'll never be sick again in my life hereafter forever. Not one time.
I wonder what people do after a Kenneth Copeland seminar. Do they go bowling, go have a grilled cheese, murder a cat? Where does this guy even do his sermon at? I mean, let me ask ChatGPT. Where does Kenneth Copeland, where's his church at? And how often does he give a sermon? And is it open to the public? What a fucking nut job that guy is. It's the Edwin Jimenez of evangelical churches. Kenneth Copeland Ministries is based in Newark, Texas, near Fort Worth. The main campus is called Eagle Mountain International Church. Kenneth Copeland himself does not preach every single week. He appears periodically on Sundays, frequently during special events. Regular weekly services are often led by George Pearsons and Terry Copeland Pearsons, Kenneth's wife. What does she look like? I gotta look her up. What's her name? Terry Copeland Pearsons. Hold on a sec. Why I'm going down this rabbit hole, I have no idea. How old is she? Do you have a Wikipedia? Well, she looks somewhat normal. How old is she? How old is his wife, Terry? How old are these people? '68. I'm not that old. Interesting. Sweet Tea, good morning. Magooch, good morning. We're just looking at Kenneth Copeland for some reason. Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Monday. All right, we'll move on. I must not be on my bookmarks. I did not recognize that video. I'll go back to that one. Now, this is an interesting conversation. I'm sure this was a while ago, but this is, Theo Vaughn is recently, even though he's a comedian, he has been really outspoken against what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, and rightfully so. I agree with him. I think that it's just those guys are just, not the people of Israel, but just like we have a bad government. That government, whoever is running the shit over there, they're just a murderous organization. But it's interesting to hear, the power structure does not. We don't align with the power structure in this country. A lot of us at all. Completely opposite sides of the fence. Some of us don't believe in murdering innocent people. And then some people believe in murdering every last person and take down every last building. And that's just the way it is.
I think so. I think the tough thing just as a regular person, right? It's like we're seeing all these videos of people like picking up pieces of their children, and like, of course, it's the sickest thing I think it's ever been televised. Basically, if you consider watching something on your phone being televised, man. It's a mass. It feels like a massacre, and it feels like, I've called it a genocide. Other people have different thoughts about it, and that's fine, right? And I don't need anybody to share the same thoughts, or you too. But I think where it gets scary is that we give, we're complicit in it because we help fund like military stuff, and that's where, as like a regular guy, you're like, well, I'm paying these taxes and they're going towards this, like, but you can't do anything, like you can talk, but it's like, you can't. I don't understand how it becomes like tough for people. Like sometimes it feels like we look out for the interests of Israel before we look out for the interests of America.
So let me say a couple things. So number one, like, I think you're a great dude, so we don't always have to agree on everything. Do I think do I think it's a genocide? No. And here's the reason why I don't think it's a genocide, because I don't think that the Israelis are purposely trying to go in and murder every Palestinian. I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they got hit hard, and I think they're trying to, like, sort of destroy this terrorist organization, and war is hell, and that.
They're sort of trying to destroy the terrorist organization, and war is hell. They're sort of, we're kind of sort of trying to destroy them. Little collateral damage here and there. A couple schools, couple hospitals, couple libraries, couple donut shops, couple, amusement parks. But, we're doing what we got to do.
And that is true. I also think it's true, man. I mean, I've seen people on my side of the political aisle. I'm a Republican. You know that, but your audience may not. Who will see these.
You're a rhino. You're a Republican in name only. Okay, you're not a Republican. You're a rhino. You're a Republican in name only because you, JD Vance, are one of the weirdest fucking. If you look at who this guy really is, he's a plant. Just like they brought Obama onto the stage. Nobody knew who JD Vance was very long ago. He just appeared out of nowhere. If you're completely honest with yourself, and he's just a pro-Israel Jewish Zionist. He's, these people create this illusion that they're Christians, but you look at his background with Palantir and Peter Thiel and all. We could go down all these rabbit holes. He's just telling you straight to your face what it is. And by the way, he's a body snatcher. Remember he had Charlie Kirk's electrocuted body on Air Force Two with him and his wife and Erika, like before the autopsy.
These videos of these innocent Palestinian kids and say, oh, well, they had it coming to them. No. Like if you have a soul, your heart should break when you see a little kid who's suffering, which is why we have the policy that we have, which is we're trying to eliminate the conflict, eliminate the source of the conflict, so that we can actually bring some peace and some humanitarian assistance into people. And that's my basic view. And the president's interesting. He's a pro-Israel guy.
Yeah.
And he also recognizes.
I mean, what are we doing, guys? Stephen Mornell, good morning, sir. This is what our government is. They've been completely hijacked, and they're trying to convince us that it's okay to murder people. And by the way, we're the new Gaza. So if we're okay with them doing what they're doing in Gaza, if you're okay with it, then you're going to be okay with them doing it to us here. Because if you look around, everybody is wearing a Jewish hat now. I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic, because that's the trick. A lot of these fake false flag narratives that they're pushing out on us, Lady Gaga changed their name, all this kind of weird shit now, is to get us to turn anti-Semitic, to hate the Jews. And that's not what we're doing. We're just calling out the fact that we as, Americans want our country back. And, no, we didn't give permission for these people to sell out our country. They're elected officials and they need to be held accountable. James, good morning, sir. How are you? You and Shelby. So I keep saying this, to each their own, but I will never vote for somebody like JD Vance ever. He's absolutely complicit in the murder, in the electrocution of Charlie Kirk. 100%. He's part of it. He has the body of Charlie Kirk on his airplane right after he's killed. And Charlie Kirk his hands are fried. His chest is fried from being fucking electrocuted. And he fucking knows it. So we got a lot of murderers and people complicit of murder, political assassins. These people are straight up fucking killers, man. They straight up fucking killed Charlie Kirk. It's fucking crazy. So I don't trust these motherfuckers for nothing. And good for you, Theo Vaughn, for putting him in his place. Because if you listen to what he said he basically told JD Vance, this is my podcast. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And I don't give a fuck whether you like it or not. I don't give a fuck whether you agree with me or not. I'm going to say what I'm going to say because this is my podcast. That's what he told him. And you could tell when he said it, the posture, JD's posture just kind of went down in the seat a little bit. And then he's like, when he responded, he's like, look, I think you're a good dude, Theo. We don't have to agree on everything, because my stance is, I'm okay with them murdering, these kids. And, that's why our policy is that we're going to try to stop it. We're going to try to prevent it from happening. But, meanwhile, they're just going to continue to do it. I don't know what else to say about it. Lady Gaga and Stephen Colbert.
What do you think of yourself as? Like if somebody wakes you up, slaps you across the face in the middle of the night and says, what's your name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always feel weird saying that because I'm like, what do you want to call me?
Well,
because I feel like sometimes I make people uncomfortable when I'm like, call me Stephanie. They're like, whoa.
Is there a difference between Stephanie and Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes. Yes, sort of. Yes.
Is it a stylistic difference or is it an amplification of who Stephanie is?
I would say that Stephanie is like me, the artist, the creator, and Lady Gaga is my creation.
Your creation that you get to ride around in.
Yes, and I get to wear her out.
What do you think of yourself as? Like if somebody...
So I was like, I was confused by that, and I looked it up, and her name is, her real name is, because the way she spells Stephanie is just like Gwen Stefani. So that's what I was kind of weird. And I seen in the comments people were saying that, but her name really is Stephanie, spelled Stefani. Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanata. And I think Tommy did Lady Gaga, actually. I did not watch that, I don't think. I must have been working or sleeping or something. Comes from an Italian-American Catholic family in New York City. She attended Catholic school. Close ties to the Jewish culture, which is why I bookmarked this video. She has worked with many Jewish artists and collaborators. So, long story short, I feel like this is what do you want to call it? A ceremonial sign. It's like they're telling us something, you know, because she's obviously in some type of satanic garb, whatever you want to call this here, you know, looking like Mother Satan, like she just got done slitting somebody's throat. And then it's a name change, you know what I mean? So who fucking knows what that's all about? It'll probably come out in The Simpsons in 2 weeks. Who fucking knows? So, and Prince changed his name and ended up dead. So I don't know. I mean, but that is her real name. So why is this newsworthy? I have no clue. It just says Grammy award-winning artist Lady Gaga revealed to Stephen Colbert that she would like to be known as Stephanie. So why did I bookmark that? I have no idea. It's a good question. We're going to move on. All right. Ken O'Keefe explains Charlie Kirk incident and foreign connection. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is a good one right here. Buckle up. Buckle up.
The Charlie Kirk assassination. Do you think there's Israeli involvement behind that?
Funny enough, one of the things I've said over and over is Gaza is coming to you. Charlie Kirk is an affirmation of what I'm telling you, because do you know how normal it is for leaders in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, know the policies of the chosen ones and their penchant for assassinations? And even in other parts, there's a guy named John F. Kennedy. Do you ever hear of him? He was assassinated too, wasn't he? He seemed to be having a problem with, I don't know, I think there was this little state, what is it called, Israel again? I know who killed him. I know who killed JFK every bit as much as I know who killed Charlie Kirk. And anybody who has any sense or understands anything about history and the obvious, who stands to benefit from this? Who is in a position to carry out such an operation? Who would have the greatest motivation? Well, based on the evidence that Candace Owens, in particular, who seems to be a little bit bent over this, like this is her friend and this is a bridge too far. Are you really, as a so-called Christian Catholic, going to turn your back? To answer your question, 100% this is a Mossad operation. 100% it was Israel who had the most motive. 100% the official story is an insult.
And that is absolutely 100% true. You know, Baron Coleman did a great video yesterday. I don't know if you guys follow him. I'm not saying follow him, but I say watch yesterday's and the previous videos if you want to know why I know Charlie Kirk was electrocuted and how they did it was with the microphone. And you look at it, you look at the video, and it's exactly when he touches the microphone with both hands. He's got it in his hand. He kind of sets it down in his lap, and as soon as his second hand touches the microphone, boom! And they're giving signals too. It is, and the video or the pictures that they have. So then, you know, they do a deep dive, and then, you know, because, you know, it's already, the security guard said on that Sean Ryan show, they didn't go to the Trauma 5 that was more equipped to deal with Charlie Kirk. They didn't go to that hospital. They went to a level 3 one because it was closer. Well, that's a lie. They bypassed the Trauma 5, the level 5 hospital, to get to the lesser equipped hospital. And they were going to try to figure out why. And well, if he's electrocuted, you know, he's going to have burnt hands. You don't want to just show up at that hospital and then the people are going to see his hands and shit all fucked up. They're going to know what happened. They had to take him to the hospital where they already had their surgeon. And you can, if you listen to Brian Harpwell, the security guard guy, talk on Sean Ryan's show, he admits that he fucks himself by saying all this stuff, you know. And so it's, you know, he proves that very little people got to seen Charlie Kirk before he got into that operating room. Hardly anybody, you know. They didn't even put him in an ambulance. They put him in. Remember, they put him in the SUV. So they fucking electrocuted him. It wasn't even a gunshot. Now maybe there was a gunshot too. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that the reason why they brought in that sound guy is because they needed to, and that's what the signals were all about. It ain't hard to fucking make a gunshot go over the loudspeaker. And it's funny how everybody says they heard the crack and not the bang. Everybody says they heard a crack. A lot of signals. Yeah, there's a lot of signals. I had never heard of him before either, Sweet Tea. Just somebody that, you gotta be, take it with a grain of salt with these people that just come out of the woodwork, and then you look at them, they have all these followers and, it's like, but yet we've never heard of them before, because I'm on the same page with you with that. So that's why I'm saying don't follow him. I'm saying not to follow him, but I'm not saying to follow him. I'm just saying that what he is showing, unless, we're just being completely fooled by everybody and everything's a psyop and everything is AI edited, which is a possibility, then we stand no chance anyways. But that, just from my own personal perspective, I totally believe that. And I'm not joking even in the slightest when I say that I believe that he was electrocuted. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, and we already know that they're lying about everything anyway, So, I mean, the lies are getting out of control. For example, let me fast forward to one real quick. I got to show you something. My guy. So, do you guys know who this is? This is a victim who got shot in the head of the Bondi Beach shooting in Australia. Our guy here. And does anybody see anything wrong with this picture? I'm just curious. I'll give everybody a second to look at it. So it's a gunshot wound to the head. Obviously, it probably wasn't a direct hit because he's conscious and giving an interview. But, I mean, something just stands out right away to me. I mean, I called false flag on this the second that I seen the video yesterday, not even having to look at this guy. I mean, number one, just because it's a Jewish holiday and this is when this stuff happens, I mean, and it's not even a secret. I mean, this is obviously a Jewish attack, and so is the one at Brown University in Rhode Island, because that's what the official narrative is. Patty, good morning. But I'm just going to say, well, this guy, if he has a gunshot wound to his head, and I've seen him where the gunshot wound is, it's right where the crease is, where the wrap goes from being up and down to sideways there. That's not real. Within seconds, that thing would be blood soaked, right? You didn't even have time to fucking wipe the blood off your face, and you're getting wrapped with fucking a bandage. That thing would be completely soaked in blood. There would be at least blood on there, especially where the gunshot wound is. So, I mean, and then you look at who this guy is. Well, first of all, and I mean, you don't have to believe that or not. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. But what about dun, 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 dun. Damn, how many bookmarks do we got? Sorry, guys. Well, here's another one of them. See, this is where he has the blood running down his head, right? There's blood all over him. That blood, there's no way in hell. You can see the reflection coming off his arm of that blood. There's no way in hell you're getting wrapped. I mean, there's blood splattered all over his shirt. Kind of funny how Charlie Kirk had a white t-shirt after he got shot. But so that's what I'm saying. That's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Is that same guy getting makeup and fake blood right there on the table? Is this our same guy? I mean, he's got the same shirt on. He's got the same blood splat on his arm. And they even, I went and looked at the comments, you know, and according to when they always ask Rock, this guy says it's AI. Here, Grok, is this real or AI? And let's see what Grok says. The image appears to be a real photograph of a makeup artist applying fake blood and wounds to a man on what looks like a film or training set. No obvious AI artifacts like unnatural textures or autonomy errors. The scene is staged, not a genuine injury. So, who knows? Am I saying what I'm looking at is fucking fact? In this day and age, we don't know. But I'm just saying that this fucking clown with the fucking head wrap here, it's just got 9/11 vibes all over it. It's not real. It ain't real. Unless he just, you know, he went from taking a selfie with just, you know, all that fucking fresh blood all over him to it dries. They pat dry his face, I guess, for visual effects. And now the reason I know that this guy is a real guy, though, because he's on video and he talks about how he just came from Israel. Big surprise. And he's a Jewish attorney. He travels the country. He specifically came to Australia to combat anti-Semitism, if you can fucking believe that. So I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but if you believe this story, you got to be fucking retarded if you look at it. Now, I'm not saying if you just watch the news and heard this, like, oh yeah, of course, you know, you're gonna think, oh man, that sucks. But if you have any brains and then you want to like dig into it, it does. It's so fucking predictable. And giving an interview, right, Sweet Tea, with the gunshot wound to the head. And then there's the video of, hold on. Look at this guy. So we'll watch it again. I mean, that guy is definitely good with the firearm, right? Look how fast he fucking can clear that chamber. I'm not a gun guy, but he's fucking, he knows what he knows about guns for sure. That guy's definitely had some fucking experience with guns. But I'm just curious. Is there anybody out there that thinks that you could take a gunshot to the head with that rifle and take a selfie? Human rights lawyer Arsen Ostrovsky shared a photo of himself after being shot at Bondi Beach in Sydney. He survived. My God, sir. Thank God. And thank you for this selfie. Thank you. The most unbelievable selfie of all time. Let's see what the comments say. How do they have time to take selfies in a life or death situation? In the middle of an active shooting, he takes time to get out his phone and post a picture of himself. It's kind of crazy to take a... Yeah, we know it's bullshit. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. Let me get back to where we're at. 16-minute video. We're only going to play a couple minutes.
This is probably one of the most important TPUSA/Erika Kirk/Charlie Kirk/Candace Owens videos we've seen to date. Because Erika Kirk wants to convince us that
none of us are involved in my husband's murder. None of us. Turning Point USA, myself, any of these other crazy accusations, none of us.
All right, we're going to get down to brass tacks here. I'm going to play this all the way through. We're going to rewind it, and then we're going to make some vital comments.
Rob Reiner, you want to look at that real quick? We can come back to Erika. Yeah. Oops, why did I do that? Rob Reiner's son stabs to death Rob Reiner and his wife. And so here is an interview with it's a podcast. It was Rob Reiner and his son. It was about a film project they collaborated on. And you just look at his son and you could just tell, you can imagine him stabbing his mom and his dad. He definitely, there's something a little off with this guy.
Reveal that stuff for you? That would seem to be hard for me.
It's not hard to reveal that stuff. It's only hard to reveal that stuff to then get told you're a spoiled white rich kid, and it's like, okay, maybe all these things.
Well, who would say that to you? Not your dad.
No,
but the world, listen, I had to talk to him about this. Listen, I know what it's like to be the son of, and to have people assume certain things about you, and it's very, very difficult.
Well, how did you handle that?
Well, I mean,
obviously you didn't go to drugs, but you must have had those issues. Your father's an icon.
In the 60s, there was plenty of drugs around.
Yeah.
But you just have to know what you do, and that you have to block out all that extraneous noise. And it's hard for him because this is the first time he's, all of a sudden there's a lot of attention. People are talking, and he has the double whammy. He's got me and he got his grandfather, and they're going to say whatever the heck they want, but they don't know. They don't know what he's experienced. They don't know what he's gone through.
Yeah.
They don't know why he's done what he does. And and it's pretty dumb, pretty ignorant of people to say just because you're born and you have money and that doesn't mean anything. People have their own issues.
Human beings
regardless.
are complicated, messed up,
and also it's like the Kardashians can go shopping and complain about how there's no air conditioning in the fucking store, and no one bashes them. It's like I wrote a movie about doing drugs and having a hard time, and people still
people have really said stuff about that.
Oh yes,
that's
absolutely
insane to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but you have to keep yourself focused and know what you do. Know what you do. This is what we set out to do.
Right.
And I told him, while we were making the movie, I said, I don't care what happens. I don't care if they don't even see the movie and nobody wants to. I said, we're winning. We are winning.
Yeah.
Because we're throwing ourselves into our work.
Yeah.
And good things are coming out of it.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it can help some people, because we've been on some shows. We were on a show the other day on NPR where people were calling in and were saying, thank you so much for, sharing your story. And they were telling us about what they were going through. And so if you can be helpful in that way, then that's good. It can help.
Not gonna mute. Not gonna do the mute minute today, Sweet Tea. I got your little floor sign here reminding me. If you look at him right there, it's obvious that they always had conversations about him, the son feeling, like he was just in the shadow of his dad, or was, spoiled rich white kid or whatever. Maybe a little bit of little bit of feeling sorry for himself, but maybe there's a little, I'm sure there's some truth to that. If many people have been bullied, but you could just tell, like, when it's being talked about, he does look at his dad and he snaps out of it, but then he gets like in right here that this picture's worth 1,000 words. He just draws in himself.
Hope some people,
you know, and look at the way he's clenched his jaw and he's looking down, and he has to snap out of it, you know, because this is his go-to. This guy's in his head a lot. He's probably had those thoughts for a long time.
Because we've been on some shows. We were on a show the other day and
there he kind of snaps out of it, but sad, very sad. Yep, the mute minute. It's Co-Train comes up with all the good names. He came up with Musada and the mute minute. So, where is Co-Train? I haven't seen him lately. He hasn't been around for a few episodes. And no eye contact, yeah. And there's there's other interviews too, but yeah, I don't know. Let me ask ChatGPT. You're gonna laugh at that too, Sweet Tea, because I say that 100 times an episode. Let's see here. What are the details surrounding Rob Reiner's death? Is that his name, Rob Reiner, or is it something else? Am I missing something? Rob Reiner. Because ChatGPT says it's not true, but that's definitely true. Yeah. So what's wrong with you, ChatGPT? Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, so just ChatGPT just doesn't know because it just says he's alive and active. Oh well. But Google says that he is dead, so that's really sad. It's always the people that are closest to you, right?
Important. TPUSA / Erika Kirk / Charlie Kirk /
Now, as we hear Erika talk about how she's not involved in the murder of her husband, nobody from TPUSA is, nobody. None of them are. Really? And who are you? Since when did we allow? I mean, let's go back to Susan Smith when she drowned her kids in the car seats. Remember when they found the kids in the lake, and she's on doing an interview with her husband on the couch. She blamed it on I think a black guy carjacked her, right? And then they found the kids still seatbelted in the car seats in the lake, and she did it. I mean, that'd be like her, you know, in the interview. Oh, I didn't do it. My husband didn't do it, and you guys need to stop asking questions. You know, who is Erika Kirk to even say this? You know, this is why, you know, and then she goes on to say that us residents, quote unquote residents, or I think she says citizens, don't understand the court system. So it's very just fucking weird.
Candace Owens videos we've seen to date. Because Erika Kirk wants to convince us that
none of us are involved in my husband's murder. None of us. Turning Point USA, myself, any of these other crazy accusations, none of us.
All right, we're going to get down to brass tacks here. I'm going to play this all the way through. We're going to rewind it, and then we're going to make some vital comments along the way.
We need to do a better job of educating our citizens about our court systems. A lot of people don't know how an actual trial plays out. I am very curious about how the United Healthcare case plays out. We are living in a day and age where social media can.
She says that the U.S. citizens don't know how court cases play out, and then she goes, "I'm very curious how the United Healthcare," and then she stumbles. Court case plays out. Bitch, you don't fucking know one thing about the court system. We can tell that in the first sentence. You don't know anything about the judicial system. Nothing. And here you are trying to lecture us. I mean, I bet you ALV could school her on the judicial system. I wonder if the behavioral panel will cover her body language. Well, there's definitely body language experts out there that have already done it, and I've listened to them, and they'll tell you that she is just a stone cold, horrible liar. That she's not even good at doing it. There's one lady, the Nadia lady, that I love listening to her videos about Erika Kirk are awesome. We could play a little bit of that if you want. Let's finish this one.
Absolutely impact. I feel it can. The reason I say that is because I don't want a tainted jury pool. I want justice for my husband. Anytime we have leads, anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. We're not messing around. None of us are involved in my husband's murder. None of us. Turning Point USA, myself, any of these other crazy accusations, none of us.
Okay, so this is what I mean, where I just feel like we're just doing the same thing over and over and over again in politics, where you can just apply any situation. Like it's how it starts. It's like they come up with a narrative and it feels really stupid. You could like apply this to COVID, whatever. And then people start asking questions because it feels really stupid. And then they tell you like, oh, I wish you guys were more educated about science. I wish you guys were more educated about doctors and nurses, and like, you're just not there. I wish you could explain to you how these things work. You're going to have to trust the experts. And yeah, I actually think that also because you guys are not trusting the experts, we're going to have to censor people on social media, as they did during COVID, because social media is problematic. Actually, the problem is free speech ultimately, right? Like the problem is that you have people on social media who are talking common sense and they don't understand this. Okay. That's like, that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me, and it shouldn't work for you.
He's just such a good thought leader. He blessed us with laser focus on the mission, on saving this country. But instead, we're so focused on who did what. Like, yes, we will figure all that out. Yes, this is a murder case. He did not die in a car crash. Yes, that will be handled. But my husband's legacy is not about his murder. My husband's legacy is what he left behind.
I just reject that. Okay. I reject that there's a higher calling that we need to all get around, and the legacy. If we find out that the government is implicated, then actually his legacy is going to be a person who gave all of himself to helping people get elected, all of himself to this political machine, was ultimately killed by it. And I think that matters to a lot of people.
It should matter to a lot of people. Now, I want to go through this and dissect it, and I want to show you why I say this is one of the most important Charlie Kirk, Erika Kirk, Candace Owens, TPUSA videos that you've seen to date, because it really highlights the intricacies of the psychological operation and what's actually going on, because this really isn't about the players. It's not about Erika. It's not about Charlie. It's not about Candace. It's not even about the political juggernaut TPUSA. This is about the puppet masters who actually control most, if not all, of these entities and personalities. Let's start with the very beginning.
We need to do a better job of educating.
So the name of this guy's channel, and he's on YouTube. I don't know. Oh, what's it called? The distorted illusion or the disturbing illusion or something like that. I'll find it for you guys. He's got some really good videos. I'm going to stop it there. It's a long video. He really does a good job of breaking it down, though. How long was the Tim Dillon one? Okay, 1 minute. This is going to be a good video. Hold on. Let me get back to the chat, though, for a second. I understand she is the widow, but why give her so much airtime? Yeah, they have just put her as, and like they're trying to make her like the spokesperson for, like if we were so dumb, she's going to be like become holier than thou. Whatever she says, we go for. If she says vote for JD Vance, at one point, which is really weird because I think they had a falling out because of something. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Because I know JD Vance wants to be elected, so he's gonna have to pivot. At one point, Erika Kirk is grabbing his cock in the back of his head on stage, and then saying that no one will ever replace her husband, but JD Vance has a lot of good similarities. Going from that to saying that she's not sure if he should be the next president. So. CG2, good morning. And Patty, good morning. I don't know if I said good morning to you. Hope you guys are doing well. So let's listen to Tim Dillon here.
I just don't understand why Americans at one point were convinced that they didn't have any type of claim on their country, on the jobs, on a share of the economic pie, and that all of that made them some type of racist or ethnocentrist or somebody that would is the goal here that Americans should compete with the entire world for jobs? Is that the point? Is the point that Americans should compete with people from all over the world for jobs in their own country? That's one of the most psychotic things I've ever heard. And it would only make sense if you were part of the asset owning class that owned all of the things that are serviced by people that you are paying a lot less money to.
And that is it in a nutshell, what's going on right now. People in this country are competing with people from around the world for jobs in their own country. She is the ultimate distraction. Look over here. Yep, exactly. Wag the dog. Yep. Well, today there's going to be a meeting that this came out last night that Candace and Erika have agreed to stay off of social media, no more podcasts, no more anything until they have a private meeting today at some point. And so to be continued on that, which is kind of strange because what's going to happen to Candace? Is she going to come back and then this is all going to be over? She's going to complete because Megyn Kelly, as soon as she had a meeting, she comes back and wants, she's screaming like a raving lunatic that she wants Tyler Robinson dead. And she will be gleeful when, they torch his body. So, I don't think that any of us are aware of the super technology that exists and what we're up against. So Who knows? Same thing happened to Alex Jones. Alex Jones was on board. You know, he's the guy. And then right when Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, he has he never goes to Washington, D.C. He always tells them no. There's no reason to go, he says. You know, he can talk to whoever he needs to talk to in Washington, D.C. from his studio or from his home. There's no reason to physically be there. You know, that's not his thing. Yet he goes and has a secret meeting, which he never said why he was there. And then right after that, he's just like, you could just tell something happened. So we shall see. The meeting always ends up with money changing hands. I hope they don't get to her. Yeah, you know, they have, when you are the establishment, you know, it's very easy to get to us, though. You know what I mean? Because they have everything. They own, you know, you know, she gets 2.5 million views per episode on her podcast. She's the largest podcast in the world, but they could make that go away overnight. You know, they have control of YouTube. They have control of the internet. They have control of the banks that your money goes into. I mean, they have control of things that we don't even think about, you know. I mean, look at what happened to Kanye. They made it to where he couldn't even get to his money, and in his same exact playbook. So we shall see. We shall see. You know, there's a good chance that we're never going to get any justice for this. It's not like they're going to turn themselves in. You know, because I think Erika is not a real person. She is part of the military industrial complex. She's part of the Israeli puppet master, whatever, you know what I mean? She herself is just a useful idiot, obviously, you know. I don't know. But Tim Pool's statement there is a little off topic, but, you know, as we are distracted with the Erika Kirk stuff and all of that, we are being flooded with still immigrants, which, you know, who gives a fuck about the wall? You know what I mean? Who cares about a wall when obviously the wall does nothing, because you still have to blow up little tiny boats in the Caribbean. And then you can just bring millions of people in, you know, under the guise of, you know, we're not talented enough to build missiles and microchips. Now, apparently in the Pam Bondi in Australia, eyewitnesses are saying that police froze and did not return fire as the attack went on for over 20 minutes. And so this guy apparently did not like that question.
Including that police, up to 4 police were standing around one of the active shooters, not giving fire back, just standing there. No witness said that it was like they froze.
James, no, sorry, hang on a sec. Wait, I'm just going to stop you there. I'm not going to speculate on that right now. What I will say is that there are 2 New South Wales police officers in critical condition in New South Wales hospitals who stepped into the breach and could have lost their lives last night. I'm not going to go into the circumstances of police officers that returned fire, but I can tell you their bravery, their courage in these circumstances saved countless lives. And I would just urge everybody, don't jump to conclusions.
I wonder if the 2 police officers that are in critical condition are, you know, in critical condition, like the guy that got shot in the head, critical condition, or like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I believe Australia does have some of the strictest gun laws. Let's see here. What are Australia's gun laws? We'll ask ChatGPT real quick. Among the strictest in the democratic world. After a mass shooting in 1996, they enacted the National Firearms Agreement. You can legally own a firearm in Australia, but only if you meet strict conditions. You must have a genuine reason. Hunting, sport target shooting, farm or pest control, occupational use, security, animal control. Self-defense is not a valid reason. So, nope, can't defend yourself. Automatic weapons banned, semi-automatic banned, semi-automatic shotguns banned, high-capacity firearms restricted. Handguns are legal only under very tight sport shooting rules. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. That's exactly why. You know, then they can just, then they can just bring people in from Israel to start killing you. And like they did, like the October 7th thing. And just like Charlie Kirk said, was a stand down order given? Did they just allow people just to start fucking murdering people? And the police, the people with the guns don't do nothing about it. Then what? Then what are you supposed to do? Throw rocks? Look at this guy. Fucking ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. And the cops aren't going to do nothing for 20 minutes? So apparently sourdough bread is good.
I love all of this. I have to ask you a quick question. We only have 2 minutes left.
Sure.
Can we eat bread or can't we?
I prefer sourdough bread. Here's the thing about bread. So really quick.
Yes.
Most bread is
so
fortified.
Tell me the truth. Can I have a slice of sourdough
Yes.
bread here? And there?
Sourdough, all you want. With all the butter you want, by the way. We need to stop blaming the butter for what the bread did. Just the fortified or enriched bread. No. Sourdough, absolutely yes.
That's great.
That was probably worth the whole show right there.
Hour.
So apparently sourdough's good, but just keep, in mind that you're talking to, Megyn Kelly is the lady that wants Tyler Boyer executed, and she will be gleeful when he's gone, even though that it's impossible that he could have shot Charlie Kirk because he did not die from a gunshot wound. He died from electrocution. So it is what it is. And we'll move on to the next one. We watched that one. So here we have a pastor who made everybody get the vaccination at his church, and then he has a stroke on stage.
Let him go in peace. The virus has killed 500,000 plus people. The vaccination has not. So you weigh one against the other, or at least I did, and decided to take the risk. We're here at the Methodist Medical Center. We're going to get our shots done, our second one. We've already done the first one, waited the several weeks, and we're coming back to get our second one done.
What do you say to people to help them understand that if they get the vaccine, it's not going to give them the disease?
The distrust in the community is understandable. So you've got to address each and every one of the concerns that they have.
Uh-huh. I mean, look at that panel. Doesn't that just bring back fucking...
Understandable. So you've got to address each and every one of the concerns that they have.
You have 4 useful idiots and a puppet master up there. Good God. Oh, man. That was some bullshit. Let's see here. Blue balls. Uh-oh. Theme dude's in the house. Okay. Let's go. Let's do the bookie minute. We're going to relive the bookie minute again. All right. The odds for the Super Bowl. Los Angeles Rams plus 400. Implied win probability 20%. So that means if you bet 100, you can win 400 if the Rams win. Seahawks plus 700. Packers plus 800. Buffalo Bills plus 850. They have a 10 to 11% chance of winning. And then the Philadelphia Eagles plus 1,000. Every 100 wins 1,000. So anybody's ball game. I mean, even at plus 400, I mean, that's pretty good for a favorite. Every 100, but who knows what's going to happen. Horrible time. I never want to do any of that again. Yeah, Patty, that was just, God, that was awful. Oh no, not the bookie. Yep. Hope you're doing good thing, do. So yeah, the Bills pulled it off yesterday. The Seahawks pulled it off yesterday. Yada, yada. 3 more weeks. And we still got this guy. Gunshot wound to the head. Takes a photo of himself right before this with blood just gushing out of his head, blood everywhere. But yet, somehow, he doesn't have a drop of blood on his bandage. And he just happens to be a Jewish anti-Semitic attorney from Israel that just showed up in Australia 2 weeks ago. So, false flag all over it. Here is Charlie Kirk trying to explain who really runs the world. So this is the guy himself that they executed. Let's listen to him talk about, is it Republican, Democrat? Who runs the world?
Runs the world. Who runs the world? Well, the scriptures say that Satan actually runs the world. He is the prince of this world. But currently, there's an oligarchy that's really hard to pinpoint of who's actually calling the shots. And that's really what's happening in this election, is that the presidency is no more. It's really kind of a shadow government of administrative experts that call the shots, that the president is basically just a Hollywood actor or actress that goes around, poses for pictures, produce speeches. They don't actually make any decisions. And so the form and the structure of government, as the founding fathers intended, is no more. Who runs the world? Who runs the world?
And there you have it. That's Charlie Kirk's take on it. Basically, I think a lot of us have that same kind of take on it. Yes, no blood on the bandages. It's up in the air right now for the Super Bowl. Yeah, it is. Anybody's ball game. Brown University. I think I do. If I don't, we can play something on that. I don't know too much about the Brown University. What happened at the Brown University shooting? What are the details? I'm asking ChatGPT real quick. Mass shooting. Brown University, Providence, Rhode Island. It took place in the Barris and Hawley Engineering Building during a study review session. The gunman opened fire inside a classroom. 2 students were killed. One victim has been publicly identified as Ella Cook, a Brown student remembered by her church community. Others were injured. Person of interest was taken into custody on Sunday after the shooting. However, authorities later released that person without charges. The actual shooter has not yet been publicly identified or arrested. They don't say anything about it being a Jewish attack, but I have a feeling that I did hear something about that. Does this have anything to do with Jewish people or anything to do with the Jewish holiday? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not that one. I don't see anything. I could have swore I seen something about that. But Yeah, to be determined. Did I hear correctly that Rob Reiner, aka Meathead, and his wife were murdered yesterday? Yes. Murdered by their son, stabbed to death. It was on a Sunday, which classes don't normally take place. Person had to know the study session was happening. It's a good point, Sweet Tea. Good point. Yes, poor Rob Reiner and his wife. Now, people are not going to like this take. Thindu, you are not going to like this take. I'm just going to trigger warning right now. Okay. And you guys know I call balls and strikes, and you guys know how I feel about pedophilia and all that. It doesn't matter if the person is over 18, if there's too big of an age gap. I consider Bill Belichick a pedophile. You can't be older than the girl's grandparents. You can't be fucking a chick when you're older than her grandparents. That's pedophilia. It should be punishable by death, if not at least just prison time. You can't do that. You can't be fucking 70 years old and fucking a 24-year-old. I'm sorry. It's just disgusting. You got to be a sick motherfucker to do that. Well, Al Pacino, the Godfather himself. This is what really pisses me off. June 1st of 2023, 83-year-old Al Pacino initially doubted he was the father of the child his then 29-year-old girlfriend, Noor Alafa. Due to undisclosed medical issues he believed made impregnation impossible, he requested a prenatal DNA test. Alifa agreed, and the test confirmed he was indeed the father. Their son, Roman Pacino, was born on June 6, 2023, at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. And poor Roman is going to grow up knowing that his dad is a complete and utter pedophile. So let's see here. 29 years old. Well, let's just say that she's 30. So that means Pacino was 53 when she was born. So that means that next year, my wife, my future baby's mama will be born if I'm Al Pacino. I'm 52. Okay? I'm a grandfather with a 3-year-old granddaughter. Next year, my future's wife, my baby's mama, is going to be born. I mean, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. That is the most pedophilic, disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. And the fact that he makes her get a DNA test, what a fucking pig.
Hi! Hey guys. Have a good one. Thank you. All right. Hi.
So I knew the Godfather movie sucked for a reason, but I didn't realize that it was because that the actor was a pedophile. So, I mean, and I told you guys are not going to like this, but the movie The Godfather is completely mort. Okay? It's completely tainted. It's a pedophile movie. It's a movie about a pedophile. I'm sorry. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. And I don't know how else to say it. That's my own personal honest opinion. Now maybe we can give the movie a pass. I still think the movie sucks. But Al Pacino, you're a pedophile, my guy. You're a disgusting fucking pig. You should go on Chris Hansen. Why don't you just go on fucking Chris Hansen and To Catch a Predator or something? I mean, it is absolutely fucking disgusting. What a disgusting pig you are, Al Pacino. You dirty motherfucker, you. I mean, they could have went with anybody in The Godfather besides him anyways. He's not even that great of an actor. He wasn't that good in Donnie Brasco. He wasn't that good in Scarface. He wasn't that good in I mean, name one movie that he's a good actor in. He thinks he's a good actor. Frank was a better actor. The character that played Frank was a better actor in Scarface than him. Oh. Wasn't he in Rain Man? Who knows what a loser. What a loser. I don't think the movie has anything to do with it. I will give the movie a pass, but Al Pacino himself, oh, what a dirty motherfucker, boy. Oh, disgusting. We'll move on. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says tougher gun laws will be put into the national cabinet, including proposed limits on how many firearms individuals can own or use, and review of license durations as governments consider tighter controls nationwide. And this is Australia. So if they didn't already have tight gun control laws.
And I want to conclude finally by saying that the government is prepared to take whatever action is necessary. Included in that is the need for tougher gun laws. And this afternoon at 4 o'clock, I will put on the agenda of the National Cabinet tougher gun laws, including limits on the number of guns that can be used or licensed.
Bullshit. Whatever this guy is saying. Yeah, no, I'm just giving Dean Do shit because he's such a Godfather simp. You know what I mean? If the Godfather movie was I don't even know how I'm trying to say this. If Thing Dude was a monkey and the Godfather movie was a banana, you know what I mean? He'd peel it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Let's move on. What else do we got here? So Erika Kirk is on a book tour, but have you looked at symbolism on the cover of the book? Now, this one is interesting. This is interesting. This is how they do us, guys. Now, his book is called Stop, I think, Stop in the Name of God. Or is it just Stop God? Because, you know, the Jews, remember, we have a moral obligation to the Jews. Without the Jews, the Christians could not exist. So remember that. That's Mike Huckabee's words.
So one of the things she said was that talking about conspiracy theorist podcasts, and she was saying that they're making hundreds and thousands of dollars. So basically she's saying they're benefiting financially by discussing this. And you're like, there's no one who's benefited financially more than she has.
Yeah, that book that she's releasing. Like, are you freaking kidding me?
You know what's funny, Brian? You need to see this. I thought this was interesting. Erika Kirk book. Check this out, Brian. Just tell me what really stands out to you about this book cover.
I don't know. It's got a weird looking hand.
I was just saying, I think it's interesting the way that the color of the font here, you have stop and you have God.
Stop God, yeah.
You would think that you might put the stop in the white, right? You just kind of just glance at it. I just saw Stop God.
Yeah, you're right. That's subliminally
the color.
And it's not just the Stop God symbolism there. It's the fact that they put his hand up there, and his microphone is now in a glass museum, and it's encased in glass in a museum. The microphone that killed him. So they, he was shot in the neck allegedly, but he was really electrocuted from the hot microphone. And so they put his hand on the book. That's how he was killed. That's how they killed him. And so they're just showing you right straight in close up, high detail to your face. It's such a slap in the face to us, is what it is. Just very interesting. To formulate your own opinion on that. This is them just saying that the brown suspect was being released. Oh, I know why I videotaped this one. This is why they arrested a suspect and then had to release him, because they have the Munsters. The Munsters are the ones up here doing the investigation. Who are these people? Look, even the lady doing sign language.
Shortly, we will be releasing
the person of interest who had been detained earlier today. And the Attorney General can speak a little bit about the rationale for that. But we want to inform the community that that individual will shortly be released from Providence Police. Shortly.
So, I don't know. I don't know. Benjamin Netanyahu speaking on the attack on Bondi. Now, every time that he's involved, he comes out and says he's not involved.
ראינו את הרוע בשיפוטו, וראינו גם גבורה יהודית בשיאה. אני ראיתי בדרך הנה סרטון של יהודי שמתנפל על אחד המרצחים, שומע, ראינו את הרוע.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, the microphone's in the museum. Can you believe that? That's how they're doing us, Stephen. They didn't think that we'd figure it out. You know. Good morning, sir.
Will you pay attention to the goddamn chat? Been back there for 5 friggin' minutes. You know what?
How you doing?
Good, buddy, good. All right, listen. You can't compare. I'm sitting here listening to you. Just because that jackoff was in the movie as an actor, you can't put that on The Godfather.
No, you're right. You can't put it
You
on.
can't do that. I mean, if there's anybody normal listening to you besides us, they're going to think you're fucking nuts. I mean, you might as well go through every movie that they ever made. Well, that guy's a killer. That guy killed someone. Well, that guy OD'd. Well, this guy, are you nuts?
No, it's so true, because it reminds me of somebody. It was this guy, Charleston White. Somebody asked him, "Do you still listen to R. Kelly music?" And he said, yes. He goes, because I love R. Kelly's music. He goes, even though R. Kelly did what he did, he goes, I don't care about the person behind R. Kelly. He goes, I just like the music.
Right. Right.
Same concept. Don is doing it. Good morning. Good to see you.
Well, I mean, okay, that'd be like saying, and this is a perfect example. Okay. O.J. Simpson. Do I have to say any more? I loved that man. What he did for Buffalo and this community when he was here. Okay. You can't take that away from him. You can't take my memories away from Dindu. I mean, yeah, that happened. But guess what? You can't take memories and things from the past from people. You can't do that. It's not allowed.
No, you're
so
right.
You could only go with the flow and what's happening at the moment there, sir. That's all you can do. And in my book, in my world, he was not guilty. So I'm going to end it there. This ain't open for discussion with me, but let's get down to facts right there. Okay, so
yeah, no, it's a good point. And same thing with the Cosby Show, because we all love the Cosby Show. And
okay, good. The Cosby Show. Who didn't love Bill Cosby? Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, you can't take this shit out on people in the future and we don't know what life. Osada, me and you could walk out the door today and something could happen. Okay. Yeah. Does that make us a bad person, brother? Does that make us? No,
you're right. Yeah. No, and no. I was only saying that just to give you shit. Cause
I know. But like I said, we got to let the public know, we're not nuts over here. They're going to be like this. Dindu's in the chat room and this guy's saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, so I mean that's why we come up. That's why we fool around, joke. I mean, it's all good.
that you might be the last holdout that OJ isn't guilty.
I knew that was coming. Okay, come here.
Yeah, it is a crazy world, Stephen, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Stevie already knows. I mean, our experienced street guys up here, they all know where Dean Doo's coming. We know the gig over here. So,
you know, I am a jerk off because yesterday I was wishing so hard that Buffalo would lose, and that's not like me to wish something like that. You know what I mean? But I kept looking. I was busy yesterday, out selling and freezing my ass off. But I kept looking at my phone, and I knew the score was close. And at the end, I'm like, "Fuck!" And then I looked at the live thing, and New England had the ball. And as soon as I looked at it, the little icon switched over to Buffalo. I'm like, "Fuck!" I'm like, they're gonna end up winning.
oh, well, did you notice? I think there's only one person that noticed what I did yesterday. Okay, and that's Stevie Morinello. Dean Doo went live during the middle of the first quarter. Why did Dean Doo go live during the middle of the first quarter? We are experienced in Buffalo. Dean Doo got out of Dodge. I already knew what was going down in that football game. I knew if Dean Doo went in the other room and did a live show and got out of that room, the Bills would come back. What happened? Every time they scored, Big Bones put it in the chat during my live show. Go back and look. The whole game is in Dean Doo's live show. So I did the best thing.
24-7, right?
Yep. It was 21 to what? I think it was 21 to 3 or 21 to 7 when I went live. Okay.
Well, you know what you're doing. Did you have any money on any games yesterday? Any parlays or anything?
Hang on. I'm going to make your whole show. I'm going to make your whole morning. You have the perfect person for this conversation right now. Hang on. Oh, wait. Osada? Give me 1 second, kiddo. We're not in a rush. Right, hang on.
No, we're no rush.
Okay, because I put it in. Look at all these losing tickets. Okay. Right, Osada. Now that you're here. Hang on, Goomba. I'm sorry. Let me get this. All the losing tickets this year. But ready?
Yeah.
Saturday morning. Okay. I was thinking about you. Thinking about everything. Didn't have nothing to do. I said, do it, Dean Doo. I took a ride. So I said to myself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Throw in a nice 8-teamer. I think you and Osada are going to hit today. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah. This better not. I'm gonna end up kicking my door. Go ahead.
Oh, you're gonna throw up. I've learned to deal with it. I am a total fucking loser. That's it. I am okay. Number 1, I had the Buffalo Bills and the over.
That wins, right?
Big win. I had the Chicago Bears over the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
I had the Jets and Jaguars. I had the Jaguars.
That's 3.
Wait, no, that's 4.
Okay. That's 4.
And then for tonight, I had the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers over 30.
Okay.
Hang on. Chargers and Chiefs. I had the Chargers.
Okay.
Big money there. Big money. I took the points. Here, I want to show you. And then No. Oh, yep, here it is. The number one bet I put in yesterday. Okay. I'm going to try to get it on here. I can't. Ravens at Cincinnati over 38.5 points. It was 24-0.
Oh my God.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Cincinnati, the best fucking offense in football right now. They didn't score 1 point. If I would have got, okay, they would have scored. Are you kidding me? Again. They just, and it was a 0. Did you hear me? It was a goose egg. It wasn't like 7 or 3. That's how I lose you. That's how I lose. Another one. There. Might as well just pile them up. One team.
Can I ask how much it would have paid?
Don't even. I'm not even going to start because I can't. I can't get worked up like that no more.
And yeah, those are the ones like it just eats your soul because like you said, I don't follow football, but when you said that it's the number one offense, then that's the part that gets you it
makes you throw up. It makes you throw up.
Yeah, you can't accept something like that. It's like there's no way.
No, how did Burrows not get one field goal, the ball in one field goal position? He didn't score one touchdown yesterday. Okay. I get it. And like you said, in reality, I would never even be talking to you right now about this. That's how mad I would be. But as we get older, we learn to deal with things and accept things. So I'll tell you, what a nice December this has been, huh?
Yeah, when it's crazy because I've learned like it's I don't know what it is, but May is the month that I always win when I'm gambling.
Yeah. Yep. Spring.
And this time of year, it's just I don't know. I mean, it kind of goes in spurts, I guess. I did win the last 2 times I won. But it ain't easy to do.
I mean, you can't even go out there and have fun. I mean, you say, I'm only going to have a little fun. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to do anything. But as I say, it's the way we lose. Like you just said, the best offense in football, they couldn't even get into field goal range a couple times. Are you kidding me? No.
Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say that all of those bets hit, and then you're going into tonight with the possibility if you win one more bet, let's say that you could win $2,000. Okay. Now, and you know what hedging your bet is. So and so would you do that? Let's say that you could win 2,000. But you could guarantee yourself, and let's say that was a $5 parlay, right? But then you need, let's say you needed Buffalo to win, but you could hedge the bet by, let's say, betting $1,000 on New England, and that way, if New England wins, you win 1,000. If Buffalo wins, 1,000.
You know what my father would tell you right now? I'm gonna hit you with the fucking Baba title right now, okay? Why the fuck are you even wake up in the morning, you stupid motherfucker? It's called gambling. It's called gambling. You're either going to win, you're either going to lose, jack off. Don't try to middle it. Don't try. What are you betting for if you're that stupid? Okay, you? Okay, that's what I would have got hit with, you fucking jerk off. Don't bet. If you're that paranoid, you're that scared, what kind of moron are you? That would have been my old man right there, okay? Okay, you're either in it to win it, or that's it. You place a bet, and the bet is down. Oh, he couldn't stand guys like that. Hey, Dad, we could middle that bet. Here, middle this, he used to tell me. You know what he used to say? Middle what's in between my legs, Dindo. That's what he used to say. Here, middle this. Right, and go like this with his hand, okay? Here, middle this. No. With the old school guys, they didn't believe in that, Osada. They didn't believe in all that technology and thinking. That was too much thinking for them. Are you kidding me? Even for Dingo, I can't sit down and do that. Get the fuck out of here.
Now they make it easier though, because I mean, if it's online, if you're betting online, and let's say that you hit 8 out of 9 teams and you only have one more to go to win, they'll offer you a cash out option before that game.
Right. Well, look at what they do. Look at how we fix the lines. Like if it's at 40, you could put it down to 29. You could put it up to 54. You could even add points to it if you want. Did you ever add points to one of their lines? Oh my God, the money goes up drastically.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, if I had the game tonight was at 40. If Dindu went and betted at 45, that's like $300 extra just for that swing.
Yeah.
Because you're going against the whole board. Okay. I looked at it. I did it.
Yeah. Imagine if you would have taken, and I'm not trying to rub it in or anything, I'm just saying, like, for example, that game, the 24-0. Imagine if you would have taken the under with less points.
Right.
In a number 1 offense game, like that would pay out big.
Yes.
You're never going to know. I mean, but those are things, I mean.
Okay, a perfect example. The Bills game in New England yesterday. The over and under was 48. Could you imagine if you bet that game at 53?
Right.
If you put $200 on that game at 4 extra points over the over, you're going to win $500-600 off that 200 alone. Okay? That's big money.
So I remember Norm Macdonald telling the story. It was him and Artie Lang from Howard Stern. They used to gamble together all the time. They were big time sports bettors, and they would but they would bet on basketball to where they would bet they would bet a thing. I can't remember what it was called, but whatever. Let's say the over in basketball is like 200. Every point that it goes over. If you bet the over, you win an extra $1,000 for every point it goes over. But you lose $1,000 for every point it goes under.
Right.
You can make bets like that. That's crazy right there. So if you got it to the over, could you imagine the excitement every time there's another basket scored? You're winning money.
You're winning thousands. Yeah. Could you take it?
That would be fun. But now if it was under, you're like, oh my God. And every time they missed a basket, you'd be like, oh my God.
Osada, I bet one game under in my whole entire life. I bet one game under. It was under 54. I'll never forget it. They're not going to score. The final of the game was 52-40. Okay? Are you fucking out of your mind?
Damn.
My father sat there and laughed at me so hard that day. I'll never forget it. He looked at me and says, I told you never to bet under. I went, you know what? I wanted to jump right off a bridge. Okay. Wait, I'm sitting there at the third quarter. Okay. I'm like, Lord, please don't make fumble. Lord, please an interception. Lord, could you make this game end? Lord, oh, what a way to watch the game. That's all I did. That's all I did was pray. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And then by the end of the third quarter, the game was over. I sat there for a whole quarter crying my eyes out. Okay, okay. Oh, I'll never forget how my father laughed at me. How he laughed at me. No. That was the one thing he used to love to do, was laugh at Dindu, my father, in a situation. Oh. So, but that's what, again, my famous phrase. That's why they call it gambling, folks.
I remember betting college football, and you just looking in the newspaper at the point spread and literally getting every bet wrong some weeks. Like, it didn't matter what you fucking did. You could bet, Florida State is favored by 53 points over, what Idaho something, and it didn't matter if you took the over or the under, you're going to lose. It was just
it was like the racetrack. It was like the horses. My father's famous. Dean Duke could bet a 1-horse race and lose. And everybody be like, Baba, how could he bet 1 horse and lose? The horse is going to win. Boom, boom, boom. Dean Duke's horse will break its leg before the finish line.
Yeah.
In horse racing, if the horse don't finish, folks, you automatically lose. Okay. Yep, that was his famous. The horse will break its leg on the way to the wire. Okay, knowing you bet it.
Do you ever go to the track anymore or any horse racing?
I try to go. We have in Batavia, we have harness. Buffalo Raceway, we have harness. And Finger Lakes, we have thoroughbred. I still love to go once in a while to Finger Lakes. Yes, I love my thoroughbred horse racing, man. Love it. My father, he was the king of horses. So that was his sport.
Yeah, I like to do it myself too. Now I don't really go to the track, but I will do it online because that's the one thing that you can do in Washington is bet online on the horses.
Well, my father, he was OTB. We were OTB people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that is, and the cool thing about online is you have access to all the information instead of getting the, like the brochure at the track. Yeah, all of that is like real time, and you can watch like previous races and the workouts and all. And so I kind of learned. I'm not a very good handicapper, but I kind of learned how to handicap a little bit and to make a little bit more educated guess at some of the races.
Right.
Although I feel that the government has technology to control the horses myself.
Well, you got to remember, in the old days, that's all we had was a program and a racing form.
Yeah.
It was in a paper form. It was called a racing form. And it would have the races, but the breakdown of all the horses, furlongs, all that, So it helped you a little bit. You see who was the mutter, you see who was the quitter, you see who broke, you see, it has all that information in the racing forms. So
I wonder, I haven't tried it yet, but I would like to, now you're going to make me go gamble. I would like to run some AI program against the handicap information just to see if it picks a horse, it comes up.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah, you're right.
Just throw all the handicap information into AI and say, hey, pick a winner.
Now, could you imagine if I had going into tonight, that football game over 29 points? Do you know how excited I would be right now? That's only 4 touchdowns. Yeah. Okay? 4 touchdowns for the win for Dindu. Okay? I'd be jogging over here till that game started. But now I look forward to nothing. So
yeah. Well, just imagine on the flip side, if you had won all the games and then the last game was the one where it was 24-0.
So either way, I wouldn't expect nothing less. Did you hear what I just told you this whole time? Okay, I wouldn't expect anything less. From anything in this lifetime. Okay, Dindu. Before I bet, I already considered myself a loser. Okay, I'm like mush. Give me the tickets, I'll rip them up. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm not gonna claim to be any good at sports betting whatsoever because I have a lifelong history of just losing bets. However, the last couple times I did pretty good because I used to hate it, and I told you about that, and which I know nothing about. But what my strategy was I did a 2-team parlay, and I would pick teams that were the money line would have them at like minus 300, so they'd be like a 3-1 favorite.
3-1, right.
Normally, you would bet 100 to only win like $30, but I would take 2 teams that had the same thing, like 2 minus 300. It would basically pay even money on a two-way parlay, and I would run it through ChatGPT, and these are the 2 teams that were most likely to win that day. And I was perfect for 3 days in a row doing that. I turned whatever my initial $100 investment was into $770 or whatever it was.
Right.
So it can be done, It's just, but the thing is that you just know, like we don't want to do that. It's got to be for fun, because if once you get your mindset back in that mode, then it's game over. You don't know what I mean?
Last year, I cashed in 4 or 5 times. I was laughing at one point last year. I'm like, wow. But you see how it switches?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. Huh?
Dawn is asking because she's not a gambler. So then, if I have to ask, why keep betting if you are sure you will lose? I don't gamble, so I don't know.
Donna, it's that word chase. It's that word, I think I could win. Today's a new day, God. I could win today. Maybe it's my day to win. Like, Donna, if Dindu didn't go put a couple bucks on my numbers today, you know what would happen, Donna? My birthday would come out straight. Okay? That would be the kick in the ball sack for Dindu. That's what a gambler, that's what a guy trying to make money is always thinking. It's a new day. Today's my father's, again, today's a new day. Get out of my way. And okay. But that's their mindset. Today, I could win. Today, but in actuality, it's only chasing. You're chasing your own money to get it back. And 3/4 of the time, you never get it back.
Hollywood, good morning. Yeah, it's I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. I mean, I don't know about you, Dindu, but like, I get when I walk into the casino, sometimes it reminds me of my dad, because he loved to go to the casino.
Listen to me, you. I can't see a horse running. Okay? I can't. During the Kentucky Derby, I cry when I hear that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I can't even do it sometimes. Anything like that just brings me right back to my father.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I love going on road trips to Vegas, because that was what my parents thing to do. They absolutely they would pretend they would drive Yellowstone, Yosemite. They would pretend to go all around the country just so they could end up in Vegas or Reno, or you know what I mean. That's what they love to do. They love to go play slot, gamble.
Some of us are different here. This last week, 2 weeks, I've had some time off here and there. And I've told everybody, I've been watching my NFL films. I've been surrounded. I'm surrounded in my room. Here, hang on. This is you talk about history, man. All the flags, my father, from the games. Everything, the posters, all these were at games, Super Bowl pennants, 73. Look at these pennants. They're older than these people on here. I watch my videos. That's all I think about. The good times, the best times, memories, my history with my father. So.
No, I totally agree. And, it kind of touches on what her question was, too, because if you think about it, the passion, even just a couple bucks on a game, it gets the juices flowing, and it brings the passion to that particular game, which triggers the memories.
Right. Osada. I could go on and on. Well, let me get this. Look at this. Look at that dolphin poster from 74. Look at that San Francisco from the 60s. And that was all stuff. This was all stuff you couldn't order online. You had to get this stuff at the games. You had to go to the games and get this stuff. Are you kidding me? So not only did we go to the games, do the footwork, and so. But I mean, those are the memories I want to die with. That's it.
That's how my dad was too. Me, I take what I don't. This is a CG2. I take what I don't. Care. I lose, win or lose. Memories of my dad, just a different mindset. Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, cinnamon, everything I do here. I mean, watching the videos, watching the games, I remember being at Nana's house on Thanksgiving, on Christmas. I remember me, my father, Nanu, Uncle Joe, my godfather, my Uncle Terry, all watching these. I can remember what was said during these games as a 9-year-old, 8-year-old. It's amazing. Those are memories they're priceless. Priceless.
Big time. And you know, without social media, when people walked in the front door, there was no, you know, like it was a bunch of catching up to do. There was no knowing what was going on. I mean, there was the phone calls, but you know, because now we, you know, like even we know what's going on in each other's lives. We live across the country. It's a different time. But back then, when the game was on Sunday and the family walked in the door, maybe it was a birthday, man, it was like the electricity that hit the air in the room.
Oh, how about Gosada waking up and going, just meeting at the club or OTB, and just the excitement of being with the boys and the men and going out today, doing something. Everything is lost. Everything is gone. That excitement, that feeling, it's all gone. And then, you know, we could stand here and say, well, you know, it's only, like I said, we go through the motions. Dindu gets a ticket, comes home. You know, we have that nostalgia. I want to say that nostalgia is always there, like football Sunday, Monday night football, you know, this weekend baseball. You can't beat them memories.
No, 100%. They're always,
you know, I mean, War Memorial Stadium. I could still. I'm standing here. I could take a step and act like I'm walking in. I could still smell the hot dogs, the old wooden stands, the cotton candy, the smell of the ballpark. Oh, you can't beat that. And waiting for the game to start, the best.
I remember going to my first baseball game, Seattle Mariners, as a kid, and I brought a glove with me.
Yeah.
And sure enough, here comes a fly ball. And as a kid, I was terrified watching that ball come down. Terrified. I was praying to God that ball did not come at me. And thank God it was like 2 or 3 rows in front of us, and somebody caught it like a champ. But it like just froze me. I seen that thing way up in the air coming down towards us. I'm like, what?
That's no joke. That's no joke, man. You're right. You ain't got, listen, you're not either a pussy, you're not either. Listen, when that baseball's coming at you, you move. People are ducking. I see people run. Are you kidding me? Nobody wants to get hit with a baseball or a hockey puck. One time, Osada, I'm sitting there at the hockey game, and I don't know how this puck made it through the net. It nicked the side of my fucking head. And landed in my wife's lap. She looked at me. She looked at it. It just it hit me. It nicked me in the head and fell like it stopped dead. It didn't hurt me. It didn't. I felt it, and then the puck just dropped into her lap. She picked the puck. She goes, "I cannot believe this just fucking happened." I go, "Honey, how did that puck miss me?" She goes, "I don't know. I don't know." Even a couple players, even like 3-4 players on the ice, they were looking right at me. Osada, they all followed the puck. They were like, how the fuck did that puck get out of that net at the end, at the end near the goal line? Yup. So you never know. You never know. You could be just sitting there and not even see it coming. Yeah,
that's crazy. That could have been bad.
Osada, it would have took the back of my. Okay, I was looking at her. We were talking. It would have whacked me right in the side of the temple, side of the head, or the back of the head, if it would have kept. Yup. I still got the puck. Where's that goddamn puck? Hang on. I think it's in the friggin' tote. Yup.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, I've seen some good ones. Oh, here in Buffalo, are you kidding me?
Oh, I bet. Yeah, Buffalo. You guys are wild over there.
Oh, I mean, you got to remember, we never had hockey nets. We didn't have hockey nets or any of that stuff up. Oh,
Yeah, that had to have been just like a shocker. Like, yeah, what the fuck has happened here?
I'll never forget Rick Martin. Rick Martin took a slap shot and shattered the glass. It scared everybody in the arena. That's how loud it was. Okay, I'll never forget that. Everybody behind that glass was pure white. They were like, "Thank God it didn't come in here." Yup. You never know. I mean, the glass could crack. Anything could happen.
Yeah, it's like them guys at the NASCAR that sit in the front row. Fuck
that. Yeah, near the wall. Yeah, near the wall. So when the car comes flying, it decapitates you. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Never.
Just a little pebble coming up off the tire or something could kill you, I think. Like
right. Osada, one time. Now, Dindu, I had 2 rows. I was 7 seats from the Sabres bench. Second row, aisle seats, seat 1 and 2. I was so expendable, it wasn't funny. Half the game I was at the Sabres bench. The other half I was on the glass. I was to a point where I could stick my hand through the photographer hole and grab the players. And Dindu, forget about it. I had a fan club down there, okay? There was players that would come in and look for me. They'd come by the glass, tap their stick, and I would start with them. Oh, who was it? Sean for the New York Rangers. Sean Avery. One time, Dindu called him out in between the glass. So I had my arms out. He come up to the glass with his arms out. We both went face to face. I got the picture. I got to get the picture. They took it. We were both face to face, nose to nose against the glass, snarling at each other.
That is awesome.
Priceless. It's priceless. I got to get the video. I got to go through my hockey folder. It is the coolest picture because the only thing between us is the glass. And we're both face to face. If you didn't see the glass, you would think we were nose to nose on the ice.
That's cool.
Yeah, even my wife. That was the first time I ever seen that kind of emotion from my wife when we met at the glass. She was like, "Get him, Dingo, get him!" Oh, but that's the kind of fun you could have at these sporting events. I mean, it's one time, Osada, we're playing Quebec. So what's his name? Who was their tough guy? He brings one of our, he scopes out the check. Now, Drury was right against the glass, right in front of me. All of a sudden, I see him come charging to take out Drury. Osada, the 3 of us met at the glass. Dindu went into the glass to pound on it at the same time the check took place.
Oh, shit.
Pay attention. That fucking body weight from them 2 players, that glass bounced back and hit me. I had a fucking dinger on my forehead for a month. My glasses broke. I almost knocked myself. It was like being in the middle of the check. My wife didn't stop laughing for a year. She said, "Your glasses went fucking flying. I thought they knocked you out." The fans. Oh, sorry. When I sat down, I couldn't even see straight. I said, "Where's my glasses?" This guy hands me the usher come down. That was the best I've ever. And I'm sitting there, Dindu shot. I was half knocked out. Okay, half knocked out. You can't make this shit up.
No, I gotta see that. Is that on video?
I gotta get it. I gotta get the video. I'm gonna go through my folders today for you. I gotta get these videos out.
Yeah, I need to see that one. I gotta see that one. Well, let me ask you one more question about sports.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what was the team that would, if you had won all the bets up, what was the game? What's the game tonight?
Pittsburgh.
Okay. So what was your bet?
I had over 29. Here, let me see, over 28 or 29. What was it? Hang on. 29.
29. Okay. This is the question. Because of the fact that that ticket isn't going to win, is there any part of you that wants to go bet on that bet?
Nope, not one iota. Not one iota, because I wouldn't get in my... If you told me, dang, dude, that game's going over, go bet it. You know what? I'm going to lick my wounds.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I put a George Washington down on that game tonight, you know what's going to happen, Osada? I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it.
Yeah. No, good call. That's exactly what I'm the same way, because you get the in the beginning when you place those bets, there's all the hope and expectation and the excitement and all that. It's there. That's why we're there. The chase part, we don't do that no more.
Nope.
That's the degeneracy, and that's where the problem is. We already been down those roads.
Yes, that's where the addiction comes in. The addiction, the chasing, the following, all of it. Yes, terrible.
Now, next week is another story. Now, we can try to get our money back next week for sure.
Well, nope. The only thing I'm going to do is the playoffs. That's it. I'm going to wait for the playoffs.
Wait for the playoffs.
That's it. Yep. That's it. I'm not going to fool around with regular season no more.
Yeah, it's good to take a break sometimes. You just got to let the good karma build back up sometimes.
Well, you got to remember, Osada, I haven't done this in what now? 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I told you on your show, I was in a complete depression. I wouldn't do nothing. I was done. I woke up and I lost the same way I lost when I said I wasn't going to go no more. So you figure it out. You do the math.
Yeah, but it just we just learned that it is what it is. There's no rhyme or reason for it. I heard this one guy say one time that winning isn't luck; it's a process, and it has to happen. It just especially like when you play blackjack or something. Winning is part of the process, but losing is just a bigger part of the process, just because of the way that the odds and everything are built.
Yes.
But the time does come when, and then it's just a matter, I guess, of taking advantage of it. When you are.
Osada, it's just like the timetable. We could go on and on. Street guys, they don't retire in a happy mansion. They don't retire gamblers, they don't retire rich. They don't retire, you got to remember the history of gambling. So, I mean, you think we're the first ones this happened to? I got stories that we could go for hours on. So,
yeah, at least we have the past to draw back on. When this hit the scene, those poor guys back in the day, you know what I mean?
Yep.
They lost a lot of money doing that.
See, you got to remember one thing. I thank God every day that He gives me this little memory space and the memories of my past. See, a lot of people give up on those. After a certain age, they just start living life, doing this. But unfortunately, I had a beautiful gift from God named Enzo that I'm reliving my childhood a little bit again, which I'm enjoying so much. So,
yeah.
And that's even more priceless, because that's the only thing me and my father ever wanted, was a little boy around us. So that's it.
That's the only thing I have on my agenda. Well, I am going to be working in the kitchen, but I have a dentist appointment in a couple hours, and then I need to make sure that I have every last Christmas present that I need to go through my list. And I'm not going overboard, but I want to make sure that I got everything I want to get her.
Me too, cousin. Me too. I got to make my list out today. I got to slow down, sit down, and yes, I got to do my list. A couple Christmas things, because I'm overwhelmed a little bit over here. So,
look who decided to join us at 4:15.
Why don't you just come back tomorrow morning? Just come back tomorrow morning.
And he says, "How dare you stay live while Stiggs is on blasphemy?"
All right, let's go. Oh, it's 7:12. I'm having fun here. All right. Get me out of here. Let's go see Fluff Tired.
Right
All
on. Great conversation. Thanks for coming up.
Yes, thank you. I'll see you later. Stop by.
All right, take care.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
There goes Steendu. ALV, hope you're doing good this morning. We're going to head over to Tommy's. I got to get moving. So great show today, and I will see you guys tomorrow.